You won't believe what went down in Germany today. Borussia Dortmund, yes, that Champions League powerhouse, just faced off against a fourth-tier team, Sportfreunde Siegen, and let's just say, things got wild. This wasn't your typical friendly. From stunning goals to surprise moments, Dortmund put on a clinic, while Siegen grabbed a small slice of glory. Whether you're a hardcore BVB fan or just here for some summer soccer heat, you're in for a ride. Let's break down what happened, who scored, how each half played out, and why this seemingly low-stakes match could actually tell us a lot about Dortmund's upcoming season. This match took place at the Leimbachstadion in Siegen, Germany. Kickoff was at 6:30 p.m. local time, and yes, it was televised and streamed for fans around the world. Dortmund fielded a solid lineup despite resting a few big names like Gregor Kobel, Gio Reyna, and Serhou Guirassy. The starting 11 featured Maier in goal, a back three of Mane, Anton, and Benkara, a midfield with Couto, Gross, Sabitzer, and Svensson, and up front were Brandt, Bellingham, and Adeyemi. Siegen, fresh off a 3-0 win in the Regional Liga, had their work cut out for them, and from the first whistle, it was clear the underdogs were going to struggle. It didn't take long for Dortmund to break the deadlock. Just 13 minutes in, after an initial clearance by Siegen, Svensson sent a perfect cross to the far post. Benkara rose high and with a textbook header put the ball off the crossbar and in. That first goal opened the floodgates. Only 3 minutes later, Dortmund doubled their lead. Brandt pulled off some impressive footwork along the end line before slicing the ball back into the box with the outside of his boot. Couto was unmarked and made no mistake with a clinical volley. 2-0 to Dortmund, and it was only the beginning. At this point, you could almost feel the air being sucked out of the stadium. The 16,000 or so local fans knew they were watching a team from another level. Even so, Siegen didn't just fold. In the 22nd minute, they got their first shot on target from distance, but it didn't trouble Dortmund's keeper, Maier. Then, moments later, Gross sent Brandt through with a clever ball, but Siegen's goalie Osbelt was quick off his line. That little moment of resistance didn't last long, though. 2 more goals came in the next 10 minutes, and both were signature Dortmund. Quick passing, high pressing, and lethal finishing. The third goal was all about teamwork. In the 26th minute, Brandt laid off a short pass to Sabitzer, who hammered the ball low and hard past Osbelt. 4 minutes later, Dortmund's pressing paid off once again. After forcing a turnover, Bellingham found Adeyemi, who took a touch and fired from just outside the box. The ball curled into the bottom left corner, and suddenly it was 4-0. The crowd was stunned, and even though this was a friendly, you could tell Dortmund's players were out to make a statement ahead of the Bundesliga restart. By the 33rd minute, it could have easily been 5-0. Adeyemi chipped the keeper after another clean build-up, but the linesman's flag was up, offside. But the 5th goal did come just 2 minutes later. Bellingham sent the ball wide to Adeyemi, who whipped it across the face of goal. Brandt was right there to tap it in. What made these goals so devastating wasn't just the finishing, it was the ease with which Dortmund tore through Siegen's backline. For a 4th division team, trying to contain that level of talent is a massive ask. At 37 minutes, it was déjà vu for Siegen's defense. Gross sent in a cross, and once again, Brandt was in the perfect spot. He nodded it in without challenge, completing his hat trick. But then, against the run of play, Siegen got one back. In the 43rd minute, a quick move down the left led to Kjær finding Santo in the middle. The striker kept his cool and beat Maier with a confident finish. The home fans erupted. At 6-1, it was still a rout, but that goal meant everything to Siegen. A moment of pride and proof they could find the net against top-flight opposition. The first half ended 6-1 in Dortmund's favor, and while the scoreline was brutal for Siegen, They showed brief flashes of courage and tactical structure. Dortmund, meanwhile, looked like a team already in mid-season form. The attack flowed, the midfield pressed intelligently, and the defense rarely looked troubled. Importantly, younger and rotational players like Ben Kara, Svensson, and Kuto seized their opportunities. Brandt stood out with his goals and assists, but the cohesion across the pitch was what really stood out. This was more than a warm-up. It looked like a statement of intent. Though the second half wasn't covered in full detail, these friendlies usually see multiple substitutions and a slower tempo. Coaches use this time to experiment with formations and give younger talents a run. It's expected that Dortmund tried out some of their bench players and academy prospects, adjusting roles and trying different builds from the back. Matches like this help coaches assess chemistry, conditioning, and how well tactics are being absorbed. For fans and analysts, these games can offer valuable clues about who might break into the regular starting lineup when the real games begin. For Sportfreunde Siegen, this match was about experience. Playing against one of Europe's elite clubs is a rare opportunity. Despite the score, they'll take lessons and confidence into their next Regionalliga match against Dortmund's second team, no less, on August 3rd. As for Borussia Dortmund, this was a powerful preseason message. Despite some missing stars, their squad depth and attacking rhythm were on full display. Fans will be eager to see how this momentum carries into the Bundesliga and European competitions. One thing's clear: BVB aren't here to mess around this season. Let's take a second to talk about individual performances, because wow, some players really popped today. Julian Brandt was absolutely on fire. With 2 assists and a hat-trick, he ran the show in the final third. His timing, vision, and off-ball movement were elite. Then there's Jude Bellingham. Yes, still doing Jude things. Calm under pressure, creative in the build-up, and relentless in the press. And don't sleep on Karim Adeyemi. His pace caused havoc, and his link-up play with Bellingham was smooth. If today was any indicator, these 3 could form a lethal triangle for Dortmund's attacking strategy this season. Dortmund didn't just win because of better players. They executed a high-pressing, transition-heavy game plan almost perfectly. Their press started with Adeyemi and Brandt, forcing mistakes and intercepting passes in Siegen's half. Once they won the ball, it was 2 or 3 touches max before getting a shot off. This kind of quick, vertical attacking is something we've seen in Dortmund's best years. Also worth noting, the wingbacks and midfielders didn't just sit back. They pushed up aggressively, offering width and recycling possession efficiently. If head coach Terzic keeps this system sharp, Dortmund could be a serious problem for defenses across Europe. So yeah, it was just a friendly, but it didn't feel like one. For Dortmund fans, this was reassurance that the squad is hungry and ready after a short summer break. For neutral viewers, it was entertaining football, with loads of goals and a clear sense of purpose. And for Sportfreunde Siegen, it was a tough night, but an unforgettable one. Scoring against BVB, that's going to live in their club's highlight reel for years. Whether you're watching from the US or anywhere else in the world, this kind of preseason action is what gets fans hyped. Stay tuned, because Dortmund's season is just getting started.